What's up, my people? My dog Bougie. Yeah, I got home at 6 something. I had to make some coffee and then get on. Let me get this link copied. All right. All right, all right, all right. My dog, my brother, how you doing? My brother from another mother. Looks like what I was talking about yesterday is continuing to play out. Uh, Price is hunting that weekly no top wick. Nice. Once I get off stream, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna try orange creamsicle today for the pre-workout. This comes with 2 doses, so I'm probably just gonna take the whole thing. Yeah, 2 full servings per container, so there's 4 half servings. I usually do a half serving, so this is technically like 4 servings for me, but I need some energy. And then the one that I really want to try is the pink candy blast. See how that one tastes. It's supposed to be Starburst flavored, pink Starburst flavored. Alright, let's get this breakdown started. So, this current weekly still has no bottom wick. The previous weekly has no top wick. We started driving up, blasting through these levels. So these are levels that I like to be wary of. I like to see what price does when we get to these areas. Do we use this as a new resistance and reject down, or do we continue and use it as a support? So here we use it as a support. Tonight we're kind of reaching this area. So I would like to see what price does after we get to this area, if we reject it or if we start to really close above and start to drive, because that would indicate new support being formed and price starting to drive. So we have 96 pips before we get there. How could we take buys up into that area? I'm extremely bullish. We just closed above here. So this is an area that I gotta be wary about. Just gotta keep an eye on this area. I don't know how to, let's make it yellow or red. Or not. Oh. Yeah, right. The 20 SMA is so yeah. There's more things indicating that that level is very important. Where's the moving average? What the hell's going on? I'm horrible at using fucking indicators. I'm not even gonna try to put that on. That shit already fucking slept. DSMA. That's why it wasn't popping up. Yeah. Oh, I see, I see, I see, I see. Yeah, I'm contemplating adding another moving average now that I've gotten this one down pat. So, we have resistance here. But if we start to break this resistance, we're making new highs for the daily. We have a level of resistance here, so tough. It's 100 pips to this area though. You know what I mean? 100 pips. We have 50 pips before this high here, and another 95 pips, 85 pips before this level here. So you can take some entries here before we reject. I mean, we're starting to form equal highs here. I know ICT people like to trade equal highs, and they shoot for equal highs. They want price to break that as like a liquidity grab before a drive down, which would make sense if we drive up to this area, we grab orders, and then we start coming down bearish, breaking the daily lows again, closing back into this area. That would take a while though. That would probably be into London for, unless price moves, because for price to close above the range and then come back down, for us to take sells, this wouldn't be a bad area to take sells off of. So there's a slight chance that the 50 might respect more than the 20 if we bounce off this area first before we're driving up. But if we come up first and reject the 20 to come down, we're likely going to start pushing down at least to the 50 again. Which makes sense from this level of resistance that I have here. But if price does re-break the daily lows, bounces off of here and starts to flip bullish without breaking the daily high, that means that we won't have a daily top wick barely, and it would be bouncing off the 50. And it would be bouncing off the 50. I see. Yeah, if this daily comes down to the 50 SMA that you have there without a bottom without a top wick, we could take some buys off of there targeting the 20. But if we come up first and we smack the 20 and we start to reject the resistance up there and then flip a bearish, that would be some nice stuff. So it all depends on what this daily candle does first. We're at a very key level of interest where I could have either buys or sells. So if we start to come up and fake out back into range, I wouldn't mind taking sells, breaking this daily low, right? Or if we come down, respecting the daily lows, and then we start to come up, re-breaking the daily highs wouldn't be a bad idea. So these two scenarios are very possible. You could have both of them play out tonight. This is why I love scalping, because I could take both of these entries, and we're in a massive range, dude. 111 pips to the bottom of the range. Holy shit. But yeah, that's what I would expect for tonight, really. This is what I would be looking for. I know the 20 SMAs above here, the 50 SMAs down here, so we already have some moving averages that we're bouncing off of. We have some higher time frame 4-hour and daily key levels that we could be respecting. Right here, we have another minor level here. So we have quite a few levels right here where price could start rejecting. And even though we reject and come down and make a bottom wick for the daily, that's not necessarily the bearish drive down, because I would at least take sells off this weekly top wick here. You know what I mean? This would be like a scalp down. I don't think this would be the reversal of this whole move, the lower high forming off of What level? I mean, this minor level. Do I not have a like command on Nightbot? Alright. You guys are gonna help me out here. Oh. I'm already... How do I sign in? What? Where do you fucking sign in here? Am I dumb? It's already on my YouTube chat. Alright. Alright. Give me a command. Like is a command. What do you want me to say for like? Drop a like. Cool. Next. Oh, IG. Follow my Instagram where I post my guns. This is why I love Max. I just copied it off my phone and pasted it on my computer. What's your command, brother? Let's get it. Nightbot is over with. So, what's up, Nate? How you doing, brother? I'm gonna show you guys my one and done trade today. So this is something that I've been sticking to recently, where I'm taking less trades and just waiting, bro. All morning I was like, oh, I missed my entry, I missed my entry, I missed my entry. And then I like look back and I'm like, none of those entries were clean enough for you to take, dumbass. Stop saying you're missing these ugly ass entries. They look clean on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute, but then when you look at the 15 and the 30, they're not lining up anymore. And then you look at the hour and they're not lining up anymore. And then you look at the 4 hour and it's not lining up anymore. And there's no bottom wicks and there's no... Chill. If it's like, you know, you're seeing it drive without you, so your initial analysis or your bias is correct, but you can't catch your entry type, which is perfectly fine. Like, it's perfectly fine for your analysis to be correct, but your entry type not to show up, and you just miss the trade because your edge only exists within your entry type. It's your edge isn't in your analysis. Oh, I think it's going to go up or down. It's in where you enter and then how you manage risk based off where you enter. So yeah, I waited, and I had a banger trade. It doesn't show the candles after the new session opens up. It deletes my arrows. That's so gay. But I took a short right here. As 9:30 opened up, on here, I think where's my screenshot? I had an entry, and it only lasted 1 minute. So this is the candle that I took. Today is the 21st. Right here. My entry. I took a screenshot of it filled at 43,648. And I entered at the 9:30 candle on the dot. So I entered on this candle right here. So my entry, 36, 43, 648. So my stop loss was if once the 30-minute rebroke its high, and if it would have rebroken its own high, that would have been my stop loss. So I treated this like a news trade. So price pulled down, it came up, and then on the rebreak of the low after failing to break the high again, that's when I took an entry. It slipped me a little bit, but we drove 20 pips in a second. Look at the 1 minute candle. This 1 minute candle was a 82 pip candle. And that's the candle that I caught right here on the break of the low was my entry. And then I caught 20 pips here. I was contemplating holding a little bit longer, but this whole shit fucking froze, bro. This whole shit froze, my dude. I pressed sell, market execute, and the notifications popped up here, but nothing popped up on the screen. And mind you, that was a 45-second trade. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then I exited the app and I came back in, and it didn't say trade evade here. I had to go in and try to log into my broker, but it glitched. As soon as I went to press the login button, it automatically logged me in and it switched over to my screen. And the notifications were still there saying that I had entered the trade. And the price is driving in my favor, but I don't see my entry. So I refreshed the page, and then now my entry is there, but it only says sell stop, or it says two contracts sell, but it doesn't show the profit or anything. It shows as if it's like a sell stop. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like 20 pips in profit, and I don't even know that. I just know that the candle's like all the way hovering right here, and then I start spamming the close button, and then it switches to profit, shows 25 ticks, and then it instantly closes the trade. And it took about 45 seconds in total for it to log back in. And I was shitting bricks, bro, because just look at what happened here. My trade drove 38 pips, and technically I should have closed the partial and went break even. But I couldn't do anything. I just had to spam the close button. But I was gonna close a partial here at 20 pips and then let the rest run, and I would have had a total before hitting my break even of 49 pips on the 0.1 that's left. So 1.1 would have made me $20, and the other 0.1 would have made me $47, depending on where I closed in here. So I would have been a $70 trade in a minute. $70 in a minute had this fucking app been working properly. In a fucking minute, bro. But I settled for my 20 pips. I closed full, and I left for the day. So this was my only trade for the day, and I moved on. Look at all this beautiful price action, but my mental capital was drained. I waited all morning, sat through all this bullshit, sat through this gay drive up until, boom, it gave me my fucking setup. And it took 45 seconds. But bro, drove 50 pips before coming to my entry. So, yeah, bro. And you saw that, how it would have been easily risk manageable, where I could have closed the partial at 20 pips, and I could have let the other partial run, and it would have ran instantly in another 15 seconds to 50 pips. Instantly. And I would have probably closed full right there. I wouldn't have held the continuous move. There was no need to. That would have been almost $80 in a minute and a half. There's no point. That's beautiful. In one trade, one and done. Close and go to Asian. So I saw the possibility of that trade, of what could have happened had the app been working properly. But in the Discord, they were saying the same thing. Danks here was saying the same thing. He was saying that TradingView was taking up like 10 times the amount of data that it normally takes, or RAM, on his computer. That today it was just glitching out, and then I guess on my phone, I guess I was just working and my phone was overheating or something, or hot, and then with the app pulling so much RAM, it just glitched on my phone. But I didn't even trade gold at all today. Gold had some decent moves that I could have taken too. I mean, just look at, we're just bouncing off this level here perfectly. This would have been one of my trades right here. How price consolidated, drove up, and rejected the gap that came down here. I would have probably taken this entry early in the morning. What's up, Muhammad? How you doing, brother? I hope you're having a good day today. I'm gonna toke one up for you. Muhammad, one of the most common names in the world, according to what people say, because I don't even know if that's true. Ain't no way I just got a Hard Rock notification. I'm not gonna bet, bro. So, I have a Mac Mini M2, the new one. I have Zoom open, OBS, YouTube Music in the background. I have TradingView open. And then on my other MacBook, I put YouTube Studio to open up the live stream and to see chat. And I have zero lag. I mean, that was a little spike right there, but I mean, I can spam the charts back and forth and go like this and not lag. Look at all this data, and that's how I determine if a computer is good. I immediately go, when my girlfriend was shopping for a computer for her job, I immediately went to Walmart. I opened up TradingView and I started spamming back and forth. Whatever can open up TradingView, open up 3 or 4 charts, and all of them be moving smoothly like this. That's a decent computer. That's good enough to do any kind of work or school work or invoices and shit. Immediately, I just opened up TradingView and I went like this, because my MacBook, this one that I have the chat on, is slow. If I connect it to an external monitor and have TradingView open, it'll lag like a motherfucker, and it'll be slow. I can't zoom out like this on TradingView. It would lag. I can, but it would just lag. I thought 8 gigabytes of RAM wasn't gonna be enough for the Mac Mini, but since it's the M2 with the new chip, it processes things a lot faster, so it has no issues at all running all of this. See, this is good. See how we closed bearish here on the 30-minute. This next 30-minute is coming up bullish. We don't have much time here, but we're starting to close below here. If without breaking the daily high, or at least without creating a steeper top wick, it could break it but not drive. And if we come down and re-break the daily low, I would be interested in taking sells coming down to the daily lows. So even though I'm going to the gym, I would probably set an alarm here for this area, and I would say approaching. So if we do come and tap this area while I'm at the gym, I could say, okay, shit, regardless of what happened while I wasn't looking, we're now coming down to retap the daily lows. If bullish structure formed and then that looks like it's a bottom wick for a continuation up, we could be getting this that I was talking about, but off the daily low here. But I would like to see it come down and start to break. So if I get my alarm triggered, I would open the charts and see what structure formed while I wasn't on the charts that led us down to this level, to see if it's valid taking a sell stop on the break of the daily low or not. One thing I used to do, I used to mark up the daily lows and the highs and set an alarm, and once it would trigger, I would instantly go and I would buy the break of the high or the low without really looking at the structure, just thinking that it was going to be a volume push and that I was going to get at least 10 pips. And a lot of the times it doesn't happen like that. Depends on the context of the market, what happened previously that led up to that tap of that level. That's why patterns and all that shit doesn't work all the time, because it depends what the market context is. It depends where you're looking for the pattern at. It depends if you're looking at an area of reversal here and you have your bearish pendant forming. Yeah, cool. Now you can look for sells because you're at an area of interest where price is selling. Price tried to break the highs and it failed, and now it's breaking the daily lows after breaking out of that pendant. So now you have a story that's being painted besides just a pendant breaking out, or whatever you want to fucking call it, or a double top. You know what I mean? Now you have a story that's being presented. It's all about a story, bro. You gotta remind yourself at the end of the day, there's people behind these orders, and people have emotions and they have thoughts just like you do. You can kind of see how things play out. A lot of people say that no, there people use bots and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of that shit, and I don't care to know for any of that stuff. That's why I don't know much about crypto, and I don't know much about like fundamentals. Like I'm perfectly fine with price action and looking at my candlesticks. I don't need to know how brokers work. I don't need to know how prop firms work. I don't need to know how none of that shit works. Just take my money in a safe broker and let me trade. You know what I found out? That after $2 million of a withdrawal off a broker, that they cap you and they don't allow you to withdraw more than 2 million or some shit like that. Some sciencey guy was talking about that shit, some finance guy, saying that any guru that says he's made more than a couple $1 million trading off a broker is lying. But then, see, I don't know. I don't have any evidence for that. So that's why you have to take all these exposed channels with a grain of salt, bro. Because I don't have any evidence for that. Yeah, bro. They're saying that they cap you at $2 million or some shit like that. Like what? So you're telling me the guy who made $11 million in a week lied? The one that flipped 1,000 to 11 million lied? See, I have no idea. That's how vague these fuckers speak. I sent you a bunch of videos on Instagram. Look at them. I don't like talking about other traders and scammers and all that shit, but when you get blatantly caught on camera saying, "Yo, this is how you how you scam a N-word on paper. That's what he says. Like, this is how you scam an N-word on paper. Um, homie says that there's a free indicator on TradingView, and he told everybody that it was a secret indicator that only he knew about, and only he knew the strategy to use the indicator, and that he would sell a training on the indicator for $500. So everybody that bought it for $500 um, saw that the indicator was free, and all they were buying was a 2-hour video of him explaining how to use the indicator that's free, that he marketed as it being only he knew, the indicator, that his devs made it and all this shit. There's a bunch of Instagram stories that I remember because I followed him on Instagram, and he was talking about the indicator, that only he knew about the indicator, and this and that. And then the video came out of him exposing himself. Wild. Literally, he was on Zoom teaching people, and the people he was teaching, he was explaining it to, and they screen recorded it. There was another one where he says that when he used to work at the car wash, his dad would give him like all the money that the gas station made, because it was connected to the car wash, I guess. And then he would take all that money and then pretend like he was rich and scam people on Instagram and say that he could flip their money and then just scam them. Literally, his face is on those videos, all of them. And the guy that I sent it to you, he posted an exposed video showing proof on of how. Look at this. Uh-oh. I don't like these 5 minutes. The 15 looks good, but the 5 doesn't. But he was explaining exactly how people fake brokerage, fake their withdrawals on brokers and their entries and stuff on brokers, and how, for example, one broker will have 30 servers, and you can buy one of their servers. And then you can use that server and do whatever you want on that server and put entries or whatever you want, and it'll say live. And you can put withdrawal and everything, and it'll say live server and everything, and it'll say regulated broker and everything, because the broker is doing side deals with people. And he was saying how the top one, he was saying how 100 of all firms are all ran by one company. And if you look at their, like, it's all public information. If you look at their credentials, they're all ran by one company. And that at the end of the day, all these brokers, they're B-booking you. So what they're doing is all the money that you get, they deposit it into their bank accounts. They give you a bunch of demo accounts so that you think that you're actually trading. 90% of people blow their accounts anyways, so they literally keep all of their money in their pocket. And the people that are profitable, like Forex brokers, are literally the same thing as prop firms. Forex brokers are literally the same thing as prop firms, because at the end of the day, they give you put in $10,000, they give you a demo $10,000 account, and then they know that 90% of the people that put in $10,000 are gonna blow the 10 racks, and only a certain percent of them are gonna make any fucking money. So you pay out the people who make any kind of money off the people who blew their account, and you keep the rest. There was literally he was saying how this one lady had like millions of dollars in blown accounts, that everybody who blew their account, the money was just in her bank account. Literally everybody that put in $1,000 and they traded it and blew their account, the money, those $1,000 literally just went into her bank account, and you traded a demo $1,000 account. And then they sold your data to somebody else who then trades against what you trade. So they're making so much fucking money, these brokers. That's why they can promote and pay these people all this kind of money, because literally everybody that goes in loses half of their money trading, because they think it's their own personal skills, you know what I mean? So they're throwing in their own money. So, like, I'm not gonna accuse Roger or anything, but that's how those kind of firms are. You put in 100 grand into his firm, and you're withdrawing, and obviously you put in 100 grand, you're one of the whales in his firm. He's not gonna treat you bad. He's gonna treat you good for a while. until things start going south, and then he has to close. And then if he closes and everybody gets their money taken, and it's not regulated, none of that is regulated, there's no American corporation that's really going to go hunt you, that money stays in his pocket. If his firm made 400 million, he can close tomorrow and disappear and keep 400 million in his pocket. You think in 5 years from now we're going to remember who Raja is if he deletes everything from the internet? A lot of people were saying like that's something Don would do, and I'm like, bro, that fucking ma'am had a few $1,000,000. The few $1,000,000 after taxes isn't gonna do shit for nobody. That's not enough to disappear off the internet and lose all this internet money for a couple million. Like, if he was really a sellout like that, he could have came back to the internet. He could have came back to YouTube and milked every fucking broker, every prop firm for money. But he didn't. He didn't take no money from no brokers, from no prop firms. The only broker he promoted was Blueberry the entire time. A regulated broker. So you're like, if he was in it for just the money and to scam people, he would have been promoting every single, new prop firm that came out. He would have been promoting every single sketchy broker. He would have been promoting all of these things if he was really in it for just the fucking money. He has 100,000 followers, bro. That's literally $1 million a month in recurring revenue if he decided to sell shit to everybody. But he didn't. That's what makes me think, all right, dude, this guy's not a scammer. Not a scammer. This is what Don DM'd me. Read the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Devious forever. I blocked out all the other messages, but you can only see the devious forever. He's coming back, brother. Fucking, I mean, that's how you know, bro. That's just how you know. If I had 100,000 followers and people were DMing me saying, hey man, I'll pay you 25 grand a month for you to promote my brokerage, and then another prop firm says, hey man, I'll pay you another 25 grand a month to promote my prop firm. So now you have a prop firm giving you 20 grand. Now you have another brokerage giving you 20 grand. You get a percentage of the profits that the prop firm makes. You get a percentage of the deposits the broker makes. So now you're making 100, 200 grand a month in profit off of just promoting these people. You think he would miss out on that kind of fucking money, bro? Come on now. That's insane bread to just disappear off the internet and not post anything on social media for months. We're getting a return of the devious. What name sounds kind of sus? Am I tripping? Did I say something sus? I apologize. Devious. Re-breaking the daily high here, but I don't. It could give us some volume here, not gonna lie. But I want to confirm on the higher time frame. I mean, we did confirm on the 15 that we're forming support here. Huh. How many stops would this be if I attempted that? That would be 29 pips. That's not bad. Let's see, this area on the 15, I don't like, right? If this was doing, if we had clean traffic down here and this was being formed without this level here, then I would be super comfortable setting a buy stop right now for that break of the high. But I don't like that level, because then once we go down to the 5 minute, we have a lot of resistance being formed here. Resistance. So I would like us to break above this, and then with momentum on the 1 minute, start to get something like this, right? Where we drive up, come down, and boom, a push. We drive up, we consolidate it, and then boom. That's what I want to see happen above this level. So once we break the daily high, we get a small pullback and then a push to fill this range here. That's 15 pips. And then you can go break even by then. But you would need, for this to be the optimal, this would have to come up, bounce, and then, right? And then take an entry here, break even by here. You already had the retest, so you should fly through these areas. So being break even here is the most sensible thing to do, and then you can fill the rest of the range. 38 pips for this range. At least that's how I would scalp this. Damn, I should be going to the gym right now. I'm gonna wait this out and see what happens. See if we get a 5 minute closure above here. Well, this is what I've noticed. In the lead up to the big loss in the signals channel, I was watching everything, right? He went from taking one trade a day to kind of like his old ways where he was like hyper scalping, where he would take 5-10 trades in a day. So he was already figuring some stuff out during the live streams that we weren't seeing on the back end. And he was only taking one entry when in reality his risk was to take 5. Right? So we would see 130 lot, but in reality he was going to open 120 lots. Because of the 90% win rate, right? If those trades run 10 to 15 pips 9 times, you're up 200 pips. Right? And if you lose one time and you're able to and you're managing risks at 150 pips of average stop loss, you're still up 50 pips for that day. So because he's scalping like 15 trades in a day, he would be up between like 50 and like 200 pips in a day. So because of the high win rate, he would stack on all the positions, knowing that even if on 5 entries he does take a loss, he made so much on that win streak that it would cover that loss, right? So you're banking on starting the day off on a 3, 4, 5 win streak, scalping, so that if you do take a loss, you either end break even or you still end it with a small profit. So he was still doing the same entries, but entering on different parts. So let's say you had a celery, right? So this is like one of the improvements of Devious, right? Right here. So this is a celery play where price comes down, closes below the range. The next candle closes doji, respecting the new range or whatever, not coming up to this level here. And the next candle comes up, creates a top wick, and then flips bearish. So initially, we would have had sell stops on the break of this low here, right? If this candle came up for a bottom wick first, a top wick first, on the break, we would have a sell stop here, and we would catch this move down. Well, DVS evolved, and on this same setup, he was taking wick entries during these levels here. So he started seeing, all right, when price rejected in the past, where did it start grabbing wicks at? And then you start to notice history. That's why history is so important. You have a wick here. You have a wick here. You have wicks here. And then when when you mark these wicks out, you get a line like right here. So DVS would have taken an entry. It evolved to a wick entry here at this level. You would have only seen this much drawdown, and by the time that you flip, that's when you go break even, and now you catch this whole portion here before going break even, and now you're risk free at like 15-20 pips. So that's how it evolves. So the setups are the same, but we're finding different entries within the setups to catch the most optimal move. So our sell stop here, our stop loss would have been above the range here, right? Well, now you're taking a wick entry, so your stop loss is much smaller. Your stop loss is now 23 pips instead of it being 45 pips. So yep. But the thing is, you don't have to. With Don, I wasn't too worried if he called the opposite position as me, because I know that his stop loss is 150 pips, and there's a high probability that price is going to either drive 15-20 pips and then reverse 100 pips, and I'll be correct and hit my entry. I would just be in a little bit of drawdown, or his entry would go into drawdown first, making me catch a W. Then I would close my position and enter wherever it's at to try to catch his idea and get a better entry on his idea. So that's how I would manage my trades with Don. I would take whatever my ideas were, and if they contradicted his, I would still let my idea play out and then try to catch his at a better entry. Pull back, please. Pull back, please. Pull back, please. Give me a little pullback, please. Am I gonna get a pullback? You little bitch. Retap this area so I can take a rebreak of the high. Please. Not interested. I would be chasing this if I was a fucking maniac. It's 7:15. The 15 just closed. We need a bottom wick. So come on, give me a bottom wick. Tap this area and then come up to re-break the highs. And then I would take a buy stop. I need that 15 to give me a bottom wick. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes before I decide to go to the gym. That's not a bottom wick 15-minute candle. Don't be a little bitch. Because we're making new daily highs, this might be a trickle up. It might not give me the bottom wick that I want. That's not good enough. Oh, fuck. I couldn't set my buy stop. You're a bitch. Well, there goes that. Fuck, man. I was going to set a buy stop here. I tapped my level perfectly and it flipped bullish. Fuck. That was too fast. I was literally moving my mouse so that I could set a... Well, let's see if the idea would have played out. Well, this was my break even. Yeah, my break even tapped. Oop. Wow. 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 All right, I'm getting FOMO. I'm getting FOMO, my brother. I was going to have a buy. Bryce broke this down so perfectly. I said I needed to come up above this range. I needed to close above. I needed to come down, tap this area, make a bottom wick, and then flip bullish, and it drove before I could set my buy stop. Well, that's it for me. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go try out this pre-workout. I'm going to try out this one. I want to try out the pink Starburst one now. Look at that, bro. Look at that, gang. I hope you learned something today. I hope you learned something today. This was fucking cleaned. I talked about this exactly to the fucking T, and I was late by 1 second on the flip of this fucking candle. And there was no point in market executing though. It already drove, and it already was very close to my break even. There was no point in market executing here. The candle already drove. If you would have market executed here, yes, you would have won the trade, but it wouldn't have been part of the entry. The entry was the flip and the buy stop after it touching this area, breaking the daily high here. That was the entry. The entry isn't up here anymore. That was my break-even point. Why would I have entered the trade up here when we're 3 pips away from my break-even point? You see how as soon as we tap the break-even point, I move stops to break-even here, and that was perfectly break-even. Price drove. What's this total that it's driving now? 20 pips it's driving. Let's see if it keeps driving. But that's exactly why I go break even no matter what. Like yesterday, how I took took a break even trade, and everybody's like, "Oh, why didn't you hold?" Well, this is the reason why I go break even every single time, no matter what, whenever it taps my levels. So now that we've tapped the 20 SMA and we're starting to drive down, we did make a top wick for the daily. So it's a little bit trickier to be bearish now, full force, because this is a 30 pip top wick. So I mean, it might not be. We'll see. We'll see what happens when price starts to come down here, because I wanted to see it come up to the weekly top wick at least before coming down. But all right, gang, that was beautiful. I was late by literally 1 second. I literally moved my mouse and I said as soon as I said that shit flew. But it is what it is. Maybe on the second leg up, I'll be able to catch something. But I'm going to roll out of here, gang. Have a wonderful session. We'll see you at 8 for market mechanics session.